Hey everyone, welcome back to Brighter Horizons. Today, we're diving into a fascinating climate solution that's not getting enough attention. Did you know that wildlife, especially large animals, could play a critical role in reducing carbon emissions? If you're intrigued, stick around and let's explore this together. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest videos. Trophic rewilding is a fascinating approach to ecosystem restoration, where the focus is on the important roles that animals play within their natural habitats. By restoring and protecting these species, we can help create a balanced ecosystem where all living organisms contribute to the overall health and resilience of the environment. The report published in Nature Climate Change highlights the potential of rewilding 9 key wildlife species or groups, which include African forest elephants, American bison, fish, gray wolves, musk oxen, sea otters, sharks, whales, and wildebeest. These species have significant effects on their ecosystems, such as distributing seeds and nutrients, disturbing the soil through digging and trampling, and even preventing wildfires. By restoring and maintaining their populations, we can enhance the ability of ecosystems to capture and store carbon dioxide, ultimately helping to mitigate climate change. It's important to note that the success of trophic rewilding is not just about reintroducing these species into their natural habitats, but also about ensuring that their ecosystems are protected and managed in ways that allow them to thrive and fulfill their functional roles. This means addressing issues such as habitat loss, human-wildlife conflicts, and poaching, as well as implementing measures to ensure the long-term success of rewilding efforts. In essence, trophic rewilding is a powerful, nature-based solution to climate change that emphasizes the interconnectedness of all living organisms within an ecosystem, and recognizes the vital role that animals play in maintaining the health and stability of our planet. Indeed, the relationship between animals and climate change is a fascinating one. Animals play crucial roles in maintaining the balance of ecosystems, and their presence can greatly influence the overall health of the environment. When animals interact with their surroundings, they inadvertently create conditions that promote plant growth and carbon storage, which in turn can help to mitigate the impacts of climate change. For example, large herbivores such as elephants, bison, and wildebeest are known to shape their habitats through their feeding and movement patterns. As they graze and trample vegetation, they create openings for new plants to grow, and by cycling nutrients in the form of dung, they help fertilize the soil. These processes not only promote plant growth, but also contribute to the sequestration of carbon in the soil, which is essential for combating climate change. Moreover, animals can directly influence the risk of wildfires. In areas where large grazers are present, the risk of wildfires is often reduced, as these animals help to keep vegetation in check, preventing the buildup of flammable plant material. This, in turn, helps to maintain the carbon stored in the soil and vegetation, which would otherwise be released into the atmosphere if a wildfire were to occur. Animals also play a role in the cycling of nutrients and carbon within aquatic systems. For instance, fish, sea otters, sharks, and whales all contribute to nutrient cycling, either through their feeding habits or their waste production. These processes help to maintain the productivity of aquatic ecosystems and facilitate the storage of carbon in the sediments at the bottom of these environments. In short, the presence and actions of animals within ecosystems have a profound effect on the capacity of these systems to store carbon and address climate change. By understanding and promoting the role of animals in mitigating climate change, we can unlock the potential of trophic rewilding as an effective, nature-based climate solution. By focusing on rewilding these 9 key wildlife species or species groups, we could make significant strides towards achieving our global climate goals. In fact, the report suggests that such efforts could contribute more than 95% towards the global target of extracting 500 billion metric tons of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere by 2100. The untapped potential of wildlife conservation as a climate solution is truly astounding. By allowing these species to thrive and play their functional roles in ecosystems, we can harness their natural abilities to capture and store carbon, ultimately helping to mitigate the effects of climate change. It's important to note, however, that rewilding is not a one-size-fits-all solution. Each species and ecosystem has its unique dynamics, and the specific roles of animals within these systems may vary. Therefore, successful rewilding efforts require a thorough understanding of the ecological processes involved and a careful consideration of the local context. Moreover, in order to unlock the full potential of wildlife conservation for climate change mitigation, it's essential that we adopt a holistic approach that encompasses not only the protection of individual species but also the preservation of the habitats they rely on. This means addressing the complex social, economic, and political factors that drive habitat loss and degradation, such as agricultural expansion, infrastructure development, and resource extraction. By working closely with local communities and incorporating their knowledge, values, and needs into conservation efforts, we can create more effective and sustainable solutions that benefit both wildlife and people. In doing so, we can tap into the immense potential of wildlife conservation as a powerful tool in the fight against climate change, while also promoting biodiversity and improving the overall health of our planet's ecosystems. Indeed, the urgency of wildlife conservation cannot be overstated. As we continue to lose populations of numerous animal species, we also lose their valuable contributions to carbon capture and storage within ecosystems. The IUCN Red List of Threatened Species reveals that almost 30% of the evaluated 150,300 species are at risk of extinction, with many populations dwindling at an alarming rate. The rapid decline of wildlife populations highlights the pressing need for us to take immediate and decisive action to protect these species and their habitats. Without intervention, we risk losing the essential ecological services they provide, further exacerbating the climate crisis and undermining global efforts to curb emissions and protect biodiversity. In order to effectively address this urgent situation, it's crucial that we develop and implement comprehensive conservation strategies that encompass habitat restoration, species reintroduction, and targeted efforts to combat the various human-caused threats to wildlife populations. This includes working collaboratively with governments, conservation organizations, local communities, and other stakeholders to develop and enforce regulations, policies, and management practices that promote the long-term survival and recovery of endangered species. Moreover, it's essential that we raise public awareness about the vital role of wildlife in mitigating climate change and preserving our planet's biodiversity. By promoting a greater understanding of the interdependence between wildlife conservation and climate action, we can inspire individuals, communities, and decision-makers to take action and support efforts to safeguard these invaluable species and their habitats. The urgency of wildlife conservation demands that we act now, not only for the sarké of these species but also for the future of our planet and the well-being of generations to come. By working together to protect and restore wildlife populations, we can harness their untapped potential as a powerful ally in the fight against climate change, and help secure a healthier, more resilient future for all. That's it for today's video. What do you think about the role of wildlife in tackling climate change? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. Thanks for watching, and see you next time on Brighter Horizons.